Welcome to Live Wires for the Win Season 4. 10 live wires will be given the unique opportunity to share their creativity with the world and become the next top live wire. I'm your host, Heather Boyd, and this is Live Wires for the Win Season 4. 5 weeks of wire art challenges count down to one winner of the grand prize, a collaboration video on my YouTube channel, a $100 gift certificate for my Etsy shop, and $200 in supplies and tools from Beadalon. Your judges will be wire artist Heather Boyd and multimedia artist and author Patricia Strictly. Viewers will have the opportunity to vote for their favorite creations and give feedback on the work. Welcome to week 1 of season 4 of Live Wires for the Win. Thanks to all the participants for creating such wonderful wire work this week. It was a very difficult decision to decide who progresses to week 2. This year we have a special twist on the series. We started with 13 participants instead of 10. For the first 2 weeks we will be eliminating 3 people each week. But don't fear, this year we have a twist. People who are not returning each week in the competition will be given the opportunity to submit work based on the theme, and we will invite back one lucky live wire to participate in the finale. Look out for details in upcoming emails. Now, without further ado, let's get started with episode 1 of Live Wires for the Win, season 4. This week's theme is My Wired World. Participants can explore this theme in any way they like. They can create wire art or jewelry that expresses their personality, interests, or favorite things. And we always encourage participants to think outside the box and interpret the theme any way they wish. They may experiment with different wire techniques and use a variety of wire colors, gauges, and textures. The sky is the limit. The work will not be judged on technical skill alone, but on creativity and imagination. So for week 1, Ashita has made this sun catcher. For this week's theme, My Wired World, I made this sun catcher wall hanging that consists of things I like to do. I have made a hoop using wire on top, which I've written My Wired World with the help of wire. Inside, I have made a tree of life that represents my life and a wire structure of a girl that represents me. I've actually made it by tracing one of my pictures, so it's actually me. And right above the girl, there are the things that I love to do most, i.e. dancing, music, crafting, or jewelry making. These are the things that make my life interesting and lively. It gives so much meaning to it, which is why I chose to make this. I hope you like it. Patricia, what do you think of Ashita's work?
Oh, I was very impressed. It's really well done. Her lines are lovely. They almost look like pencil sketch lines. The circle is beautifully round. She's even done a great job with the lettering, which isn't easy. And I particularly liked the contrasting colors, the silver and the copper. Yeah, it made all the elements really stand out. Yeah, great job.
Yeah, I agree with you. I love all the elements of the piece and very kind of fluid lines, very organic. The way she kind of grows out of the tree is super cool. And then she's blended some tones of wire with sort of like a yellowy and then a darker orange, wire twisted together. And yeah, I love all the pieces and how it represents her. She did a great job. Good job, Ashita. Here we have Linda, and Linda says, it's a representation of the garden outside my window where I live. And Linda had a couple pictures. So we have this one and we have this one. So I'm just going to pull up the one that has a little more contrast. And I'll start with Linda's. Yeah, I thought this was a really beautiful piece. She obviously has an affinity for her garden. And it's lovely that she used that to represent her wired world. I love the different tones of wire and the different shapes of the flowers as well. She really experimented with different techniques and different designs. There's the coils and the spirals and then the shapes. And I just think it's a really sweet piece and overall looks fantastic. And Patricia, what do you think of Linda's piece?
Yeah, I agree with you, Heather. I particularly liked the different colors and different line types. And it really does come across as a very wild, organic garden, which is a little bit out of control, which is nature. And so I feel she captured this very well. Great job, too.
Awesome. Good job, Linda. So next we have Amy B. And Amy writes, My wire world started at home here in Indiana. My piece this week is a wall hanging decoration that is 8 inches long and features 16 gauge round copper wire for the frame and 19 gauge square copper wire for the star. The frame is the outline of my home state of Indiana, and the star hangs in where I would consider pretty close to my location in Indiana, North Central, more specifically St. Joseph County. My wired world is centered around home and family. I couldn't imagine a more fitting depiction than to show you my actual place in the world. This piece means a lot to me. I made a template to trace and brought it to life with my wire. I hammered the wire for some texture and hardness. I hope you enjoy it. So Patricia, what do you think of Amy's piece?
Yeah, again, well done. The lettering is nice and cursive and organic and a beautiful flowing line. And the idea is great because it is your home, and the texture on the wire also adds to it as well as the little star. Yeah, very well done.
Yeah, I love this one too. And I love the contrast of the round wire and then she hammered it around the outside. It really gave it a nice, like you said, a nice texture, sounded kind of rugged, and then that the star is actually very close to her location is a cool touch. It's really nice and it's simple. You know, it's not. Sometimes I tell participants that less is more, and this is a very effective depiction of her wired world and the lettering. Good job on the lettering too. Awesome, great job, Amy. So next we have Laura, and Laura sent a couple of pictures so we could see how hers works. So it's a hand holding the globe. So there's one point of view, and then we have this one that shows the hand beside the globe. So you could see more of the details. And then she had some in progress pics as well. So that's just the hand. And less filled out the hand. So we get an idea of how it works. And I know that Laura is a wire artist and she creates, this is very typical of her style of work where she creates massive pieces with wire. And it's not easy creating this type of wire piece for sure. So let's see what she wrote. So Laura writes, I took this week's theme quite literally and created a 3D hand holding the globe. The hand is modeled after my own proportions, so ended up being a life-size sculpture. Both pieces are made with 16 and 18 gauge utility wire, which is so dirty, but also inexpensive. The continents are 18 gauge colored aluminum craft wire. Yeah, Laura's is super fun. And like I said, it's very typical of her style of wire sculpture and not easy making a three-dimensional sculpture that stands. So great job on that. And I love that she modeled it after her own hand. I often do that when I'm drawing hands is I'll like trace my own hand and then do the details after I've traced it. That way, at least the proportions are right, because that's something that's always difficult in drawing, in art, in sculpture, is getting the proportions right, which is why I often use templates when I'm creating wire art. And yeah, the globe is super fun. I think it's a really great concept, very whimsical, very loose and artistic approach to it. And good job, Laura. And Patricia, what do you think of Laura's piece?
Yeah, I was impressed too with the size and the fact that it's freestanding. And I think my favorite thing was that the globe can move. It can be held in the hand or not. I really liked that. And the black and green make a really nice, strong contrast. So yeah, very impressive.
It's true. It would be really cool to hold it in your hand. Very cool. Good job, Laura. So here's Peggy's. She has a few pictures of her work. It's a locket. So this is the picture, the main picture that people were voting on. But because we couldn't put all the pictures, this is how it looks when it's closed with the bail at the top. Then there's just the side view. So you could see how it looks on the side. So Peggy writes, for week 1, I chose to make a locket. The locket symbolizes protection for what is inside. 10 hearts and a paw to symbolize our household that are always making a joint effort to encourage and support one another. On the back piece, there is an abstract tree to symbolize life, and on the front is a flower because every flower is different. I used 20 gauge zebra wire, 20 gauge copper wire, and 26 gauge beadle-on wire. My world is my therapy from the chaos. So Patricia, what do you think of Peggy's piece?
It was an ambitious attempt, and I think she really succeeded to make a locket that opens and closes and clasps shut and holds things. So yeah, I was blown away. And I like the silver, and also the hearts that would be put inside it are gold, and the pink and green. Yeah, no, I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, I agree with you. She did a really nice job. Very ambitious. It's definitely not easy making lockets. I've made a few before, and being able to make it in a way that it holds something inside, because with wire you really have to figure out a way to make it more massive and more compact. And I like that the two sides are different. One's more of a kind of chaos wrap and one's a little more like kind of spirals and stuff, and that the little pieces fit inside. And the symbolism was really nice as well. I love the little hearts with the little paw. Great job, Peggy. So next we have Teresa, and Teresa writes, the infinity head pin from the last 10-day challenge inspired me. The earrings were made of 18 gauge copper wire. I call them the infinity earrings. They will be going to my niece who loves earrings that make a statement. They're super fun earrings. You definitely did a good job. You made your own hooks, and I love the style going back and forth. They looked like little infinity signs. Super cute. Yeah, it wasn't clear about how they fit with the theme, but I think the idea that they're a gift for her niece was a sweet addition that she mentioned to us. But they're definitely very well made. Nice job, Teresa. And Patricia, what do you think of Teresa's earrings?
Yeah, I liked the design. I felt it was sophisticated and could be worn easily by, a lot of people. I would wear them. And I liked the warm color of the wire. So I think, yeah, that sophisticated design and the warm color and how they would dangle, they would look great on.
Awesome. Good job, Teresa. So next we have Sharon, and Sharon writes, it's my wired world. Love is what I thought of when I thought of my world. So I used one long continuous piece of 20 gauge copper wire to create the man and woman figure in the middle. Also 20 gauge copper wire for the words, love and my 3 children, Josh, Allie, and Ricky. The frame is, I believe, 14 gauge or 16 gauge copper wire that I twisted myself and shaped into my world of love. Simple but true, I'm blessed to have love in my world. I think of this as a paradigm shift sculpture. I love that. When you look at it from different angles, you see different things. Tell me what you see. So Patricia, what do you think of Sharon's work?
That's a lovely idea, very personal and sentimental. I liked the line she used to create the two figures. Like if you sort of trace around it, there's a little bit of abstractness to the figures, which I think really adds to them. And the fact that they're looking at each other and the names are there. It really embraces this week's theme, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. She really nailed it on the theme, and it's just a really sweet sculpture. I know Sharon often talks about her family and her kids, and it's really lovely that she included them in this piece. And for scale, I guess I just noticed at the top there's a clothes peg, so you could kind of get
Mhm.
an idea of the scale. I guess it's probably maybe about 12 12 inches high or maybe a little bit more. I love the faces. And that's another thing that's really tricky is making things with one piece of wire. And to make the two figures with a continuous piece of wire was a great challenge. And she did a really great job. I really love the nose on the man. It's going into
Yes.
the eye and the eyebrow. It looks super cool. Awesome. Great job, Sharon. So now we have Mark, and I'm going to show you, this is the main photo, and then we're going to go back. So Mark sent us a video. So here's the video showing the mobile and how everything hangs around. So there's the mobile, and we are going to go back, and here's the individual pieces that are on the mobile, so you could see all the different things. And I'll read the description so you can see what each piece is, and then we'll go back and look at the full image. So Mark writes, this mobile art piece features symbolic elements that hold deep personal meaning. The hammer and anvil represent strength and craftsmanship and my skill as a bladesmith, while the dogs symbolize the bond between my German Shepherd, Kane, and my girlfriend's dog, Max. At the center, a heart ties everything together, symbolizing my love for the outdoors, my pets, and my girlfriend, Kiki. So let's go back and see the full piece. So there we go. I thought Mark did a really great job. I think it's super creative. I know he's new to wire making. Like he said in the description, he's a bladesmith. So he's kind of morphed into working with wire, and I know he really enjoys the medium. And I love all the little elements, how he got it to balance well. It's not easy to do a mobile that balances. And very symbolic, super fits the theme. And you did a great job, Mark. And Patricia, what do you think of Mark's piece?
It's a mobile, which is really nice because it can move. I like the different colors. And my favorite part was the image of the dog. It's simple, but it really captures a dog so well. I thought it was the cutest dog. Yeah, great job. And again, it really embraces the theme of this week.
100%. Great job, Mark. So next we have Lynn, and Lynn writes, squiggle bracelet, hand wrapped of 16 gauge copper wire and hammered along with handmade jump rings out of 18 gauge wire. Patricia, what do you think of Lynn's piece?
Oh, I thought it was beautiful again, a sophisticated design and so beautifully made. I really like the hammered wire and gives some solidity to the design, even while it's very squiggly and spiraling and organic. So yeah, no, I thought it was a very beautiful design and, again, something people would love to wear.
Yeah, I agree with you. The design is gorgeous. I love the sort of the organic swirls and the design, concept where you start in the middle and then work your way out so you can have a loop on either side, because sometimes it's really hard to know how to attach components, but that looks really great. And I love that they all sort of sit a little bit differently and that she's made all her jump rings and they're double jump rings. So it gives it that much more solidity. And yeah, I would definitely wear this bracelet. It's super cool. I'm not 100% sure on how it fits the theme, but she did a wonderful job. Great job, Lynn. So next we have Stephanie, and Stephanie writes, this theme took a little bit of thought for me. Family is one of the things that most strongly represents what is most important to me, and creating is one of my loves. So this is the thought process behind the piece. The sun rises in the east side with the leaves and sets in the west, bare side. New life of the family starts as the sun rises, and about halfway around as the tree ages, life is ending with fallen leaves on the ground, but the full life of the tree and all of its parts make it complete. I would pick the gold flower at the top to represent me at this stage in my life. So I really love this piece. We see a lot of trees online, and I always love people's different interpretations and approach. And I love all the elements of this, the thought behind it with the leaves on one side and not so much on the other side. So that whole time passing evolution, and that she's pinpointed herself at the top as the flower at the top. And I love the variety of colors, looks great. The tree design is super nice. And even the outside, the frame, I like that it's a little bit kind of more organic and twisted. So she did a great job. And what do you think of Stephanie's tree?
Oh, I really like her write-up. It's such a deep and thoughtful approach to life. And at first, I thought, when I hadn't heard the description, I thought maybe it was more of a summer to winter theme with the tree, but when it's meaningful for a person's life, yeah, it's a bit different. And the details were great, the color choices. And I love that little shoot starting up at the base of the tree, like life, coming around in full circle. Yeah, very beautiful.
Yeah, no, she did a great job. Awesome, Stephanie. So next we have Amy, and Amy writes, in my wired world, I love things that swim in the water. I wish I could breathe when I swim in the water and also swim like a fish, have electric bolts through and out of me like an electric eel. I love stingrays. I used 18 gauge wire for the stingray and for the eel, and also for the eel, I used 26 gauge for the green part of the electric eel and a filling in on the fish. The fish is also 18 gauge wire. Patricia, what do you think of Amy's work?
Yeah, I liked the simplicity of the drawing, the wire shapes for the elements. You know it's a fish, no matter how simply it's done, it reads as a fish. And I really like the red color wrapping it because we often like to think of fish as bright and colorful. And the stingray almost looks like it's holding up the fish or flying, which is fun. Yeah, nice organic lines.
Yeah, I really love her fish. It's super cute. I like the way she filled it in with a little bit of red wire as well, just to give it a little bit more of a pop. And the stingray is really interesting too. It almost looks a little more on the abstract side, but it's really fun. She sees herself in these creatures, and I love that with regards to the theme. It's perfect. So awesome job, Amy. So Tiana had a few pictures. We have this view and this view and this view. So this is the picture that we shared in the Google form. And Tiana writes, the sculpture is of a platypus with a mouse underneath the clover. The elements of the clover and the platypus were chosen because they were my favorite flower and animal respectively. The mouse is a miniature of my pet mouse named Skinner. So I'll start with Tiana's. And I love that she mounted it on a rock. So we have new guidelines for live wires for the wind this year that we're not including beads or cast metal pieces, but I did mention to people that they can use a base. So a rock, a piece of wood, whatever they want to do to mount the sculpture. And this worked perfectly. She found a great rock and wrapped the platypus on with the wire. I like her thick, chunky wire, and the platypus is a funky design, right? So she did a great job with the snout and the tail and the feet with the little toes is super cool. And then she's got the clover up there. I can't really see the mouse. I looked really hard, but maybe the mouse is hiding underneath the clover, but it's super cute. It's fun. It's whimsical. And yeah, I really liked it. Patricia, what did you think of Tiana's platypus?
Yeah, I like the looseness of the design. It is the lines have a lot of movement to them. And I really like the rock as a base as well. It's such a solid element of the earth. And I like the thick wire, which really went with the solid rock. So yeah, good job.
Awesome. Great job, Tiana. So here we have Lisa's. I'm just going to scroll through. She sent a couple of pictures. Go back and side view. Lisa writes, when you said our wired world, a light bulb went off in my head. Inside the bulb, the hand with the plug and the world indicates we are all plugged into our world in some way or another. We are all wired together, as in connected. Wink, wink. So, Patricia, what do you think of Lisa's work?
Oh yeah, I love the idea. It's amazing. And the design really emphasizes it. You can see all the elements and the light bulb with the earth inside and the hand plugging it in. Yeah, I was very impressed. And it's even a hook. You can hang some small thing on it. So it's even useful. Great idea.
Awesome. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I loved Lisa's work. I love the concept, the design. Like you said, it's multifunctional with the hook. You can hang it on the wall and use it to hang something on. And just the idea behind it was just such a thoughtful idea. And all the pieces work together. At least the inside looks like it's made with one continuous wire. And with the hand holding the plug, like that's a tricky design to do as well.
Mhm.
And it's very clear, very effective. I really love Lisa's piece too. And I like the dark wire, the black wire really makes
Mhm.
it pop as well. So great job, Lisa. Thank you to all the viewers who voted for their favorite creation and left such great feedback for the artists. I will be posting pics of all the work plus the feedback on the Livewires for the Win Facebook page, which is linked up below the video. The winner of the viewer's choice for episode 1 was Ashita. Congratulations, Ashita, on being the viewer's choice for week 1. So now we're just going to give the 4 that we're considering to go home this week. So Patricia, which 4 are you considering?
Well, it's always hard because, all the work is stands on its own and it all has worth. But we have to do this. So my 4 that are in the bottom are Amy C's fish, Tiana's platypus, Amy B's map, and Teresa's earrings.
And then my 4 that I'm considering were Amy C's stingray, Teresa's earrings, Lynn's bracelet, and Tiana's platypus. So unfortunately, this week we are going to have to say goodbye to Amy C and Tiana and Teresa. Thank you, ladies, so much for participating. I hope you're going to continue to participate for a chance to be in the finale. Now we are going to choose our top Livewire for episode 1. Patricia, who are your top 4 that you're considering?
My top 4 are Lisa with the light bulb, Peggy with the locket, Linda with the garden, and Mark with the mobile.
So my top 4 are Lisa with the light bulb, Ashita with the My Wired World and her self-portrait, Peggy with the locket, and Sharon with her face silhouettes and her family. So we have an obvious winner. The top Livewire for episode 1 is Lisa. Yay, Lisa. Congratulations on being the top Livewire for episode 1. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching episode 1 of Livewires for the Win. Thank you so much to Patricia and to all the viewers for your great feedback on the work. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be notified for the next video. And be sure to like the Facebook page to see the photos of the work and the viewers' feedback. I can't wait to see what everybody creates next week. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you the next time.